right, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, folks. I guess that's just our little mic check to make sure that we're here. We're live. We're in your pocket, in your ear, with the vibes, in your heart. You get it. I'm just kidding. I feel a little goofy today, but we're actually really excited. We're launching a brand new show. Before I get into the show, I want to tell you what's happening here at the station. We're launching a brand new show. It's called the KUHS Midday Fitness Hour. It's going to be super cool. We have this incredible personal trainer, Baltzar. He's going to come in and he's going to make us work out. It's going to be super fun, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be live at 1, and I'll keep you updated on that. But with that being said, hello and welcome to KUHS Colorado, the show where we keep you informed on all things Colorado, live from KUHS Radio. Today is Wednesday, March 11th, and I'm your host, Luis Live. Good morning to everyone across the Denver metro area. I guess afternoon, right? From Aurora to Denver and beyond. This is your community voice for local news, stories, and conversations that matter. On today's show, Denver's recent snowstorm is melting fast and raising fire concerns. There's a major court update in the Morphew case, and we'll also talk about education opportunities opening up for local youth. But before we get into today's headlines, remember, you can always stay connected with us through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the whole shebang. You can find us. If there's an account, we are on it, y'all. And that is on Facebook at KUHS Denver. And so follow us, stay in the loop for all things Denver and everything happening around Colorado. And check out our socials, folks. We have been crazy on fire this week. We're posting some really fun stuff, so go check them out. So, but before we get into it, let me just share this with you. Today's show is brought to you by ADA Concrete. Concrete done right. If you're looking for quality concrete work, you can call them for free quote at 720-987-8206. That is 720-987-8206. And I'll tell you a little bit more about them here in just a few minutes. But let's just get into today's stories, okay? So starting with top stories across the Denver metro area and the Front Range. Last Friday, Denver and much of the Front Range saw the biggest snowstorm of the season, with some neighborhoods reporting as much as 8 inches of snow. While road crews moved quickly and most of the major streets were cleared within hours, the story isn't over yet, right? As temperatures warm this week, the snow is melting rapidly. Local officials are asking residents to watch for standing water in low-lying areas, flooding along curbs and storm drains, and possible icy patches during early morning hours. If you live in an area that tends to collect water during spring melt, now is a good time to clear storm drains and keep an eye on local conditions. So just keep an eye out, folks. If you you know your property, right? Just keep an eye on where you think that water could pool. Just keep it safe, keep it professional, I guess. As the snow melts, a very different weather concern is emerging. Across Colorado today, warm, dry winds moving along the Front Range have triggered flag warnings for fire danger in many reports of the region. Meteorologists say a strong gust combined with low humidity could allow grass fires to quickly start and spread very quickly. Xcel Energy is also warning customers that they may implement preventative powers shutoffs in high-risk areas to protect electrical equipment from sparking fires. As many as 50,000 customers could be impacted if conditions worsen. Officials are urging people to avoid any activity that could create sparks, including outdoor burning or using equipment on dry grass. No bonfires. No bonfires, friends. We got to do our part to keep our neighbors and ourselves safe. So, but let's talk about what our senators and our politicians are doing. I know there's a lot going on in Colorado, but let me share this with you. So, Colorado U.S. Senator Michael Bennet is joining more than 30 Senate colleagues in calling for a federal investigation into the death of an American citizen in the West Bank. In a letter to the Trump administration, the lawmakers are urging U.S. officials to conduct an independent investigation into the killing of 19-year-old Narsala Abu Siyam. According to the senators, Abu Siyam, an American born in Philadelphia, was shot and killed in February 18th in the West Bank village of Muqamas during an attack by Israeli settlers on Palestinian farmers. The senators say his death marks the 9th American citizen killed in the West Bank since January of 2022. And they say no one has been held accountable in any of those cases. The lawmakers are also asking the administration to launch a credible investigation and provide an update on the status of all cases involving Americans killed in the region. They're also requesting a briefing from federal officials by April 5th. Senator Bennet has previously called for greater accountability in these cases and has supported legislation aimed at preventing violence against civilians in the West Bank. This information comes from a press release directly from Michael Bennet's office. So I wanted to excuse me. I'm sorry, folks, excuse me. This is an interesting story, right? I think any American being murdered abroad is a big deal, and I'm really glad that they're doing something about it, right? Even if it's demanding an investigation, right? So, another as far as other Colorado lawmaker stories, Colorado lawmakers from both parties are working to keep a state's only only long-term uranium disposal site open in Grand Junction. U.S. Senator Michael Bennet and John Hickenlooper, along with Utah Senator John Curtis and Colorado Rep. Jeff Hurd, have introduced the Bipartisan Responsible Containment Reauthorization Act. The bill would allow Grand Junction disposal site to keep operating until it reaches full capacity. Without action from Congress, the facility is expected to begin shutdown procedures later this year. Lawmakers say closing the site early could create both financial and safety concerns if the facility closes. So, radioactive waste from cleanup projects in western Colorado would have to be shipped to a private disposal site in Utah. State officials estimate that moving about 6,000 cubic yards of waste every few years could cost more than $16 million per shipment. The Grand Junction site stores low-level radioactive material left over from uranium milling back in the 1940s, when uranium tailings were commonly used in construction before their health risks were fully understood and evaluated. Local governments, including Mesa County, Durango, and the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, are backing the legislation. So, this is a really interesting story because I didn't even know that we had uranium mines in Colorado, right? I should know that. I lived over by Colorado Springs, by the Grand Junction. But this seems like a very expensive fix, folks, and I'm going to keep following the story for us so I can keep us informed because I want to know where this material is going to end up. No matter where it ends up, we need to make sure that the people that are moving it and where it's stored is being done well in a way that protects our communities, right? That's what it's about. But I guess let's just take a quick break though, and let me give you a little bit of a message from our sponsor. So, I know that I talk about ADA. We love ADA in this house, okay? They do incredible work. I'm gonna actually get them to do my driveway in time, but let me give you their information, okay? So, and let me give you my ad read performance, right? Okay. When it comes to concrete, you don't get a second chance. That's why homeowners and businesses across Colorado trust ADA Concrete for quality work that lasts. From driveways, garage floors, and sidewalks to commercial foundations, concrete slabs, asphalt, and snow removal, their team delivers reliable results with professional craftsmanship. No shortcuts, no rush jobs, just solid work built to handle Colorado weather. Call ADA Concrete today for your next project at 720-987-8206. That's 720-987-8206. ADA Concrete, serving all of Colorado. Awesome, and I'm telling you guys, they do great work. I went 2 weeks ago. I will rave about this forever because it was so cool to watch them pull up, and they basically built a driveway, and it felt like a couple hours, and it looked beautiful. They did a great job. So keep an eye out for them. They do great work. Endorsed by KUHS Colorado. But let's just get back into it, folks, because I know time is moving fast, like usual, right? So, Colorado lawmakers are pressing federal officials for more information about a controversial incident involving immigration enforcement in Eagle County. U.S. Senator John Hickenlooper and Representative John Neguse, along with Senator Michael Bennet and Representatives Diana DeGette, Jason Crow, and Brittany Peterson, have sent a letter to the Department of Homeland Security seeking details about an ongoing investigation into a so-called death cards. The request comes after reports that Ace of Spades playing cards, sometimes referred to as death cards, were left inside vehicles belonging to people detained by ICE agents in Eagle County. Lawmakers say about 10 Latino individuals were detained during the incident and are now being held at the Aurora Detention ICE facility. Family members later reported finding Ace of Spades cards in several abandoned vehicles, some printed with the address and phone number of the detention center. The lawmakers say the symbol has historically been used by white supremacist groups to intimidate people of color and are raising concerns about civil rights and public trust. Federal officials say an investigation is underway, but lawmakers say the Department of Homeland Security has not disclosed which ICE field office is handing out the cards, right? So this is raising questions about transparency and possible conflicts of interest. The Colorado delegation is now requesting a full briefing on ICE activities in Eagle County and a report on the results of the investigation, including any disciplinary action. We need to know what's going on, folks. This has not only happened in Eagle County, there was some cases in Aurora. We did cover that a few weeks back. So these cards have been found in multiple counties across Colorado, left by ICE agents. So we'll keep following that story for you. But let's go to Thornton for just a second. In Thornton, city officials are taking action again after what has been one of the driest winters in recent memory. The city has activated a Stage 1 drought response plan in an effort to conserve water early in the season. Under these guidelines, residents are being asked to limit outdoor watering to just 2 days per week. The city's goal is to reduce overall water use by at least 10%. Officials say residents who ignore the new guideline may see a higher water bill or penalties for excessive use. City leaders say these early steps can help protect water supplies throughout the summer if the dry conditions continue. So this is actually an interesting story, and I would if you're looking into this, just double check with your HOA, see if they're doing anything, if you can even reduce your water use by even less, because this is ultimately going to help Colorado here in the next few months. It has been a very dry winter, folks. So, but let's talk about what happened this weekend. I know it's a Wednesday show. We don't have a Monday show quite just yet, but bear with me, okay? So Sunday afternoon, a sudden explosion at a Denver metro area hotel forced the evacuation of more than 90 guests. Authorities say the incident happened at a hotel where first responders arrived to find smoke coming from one of the rooms. Law enforcement and fire crews quickly moved through the building to clear guests and make sure everyone was safe. 2 sheriff's deputies were treated for minor injuries related to smoke inhalation, but thankfully there were no serious injuries reported. First responders were also able to rescue 2 pets from the building. Investigators are still working to determine what caused the explosion. So if you know anything about that, if you're a guest at that hotel, I guess do what you can to inform the police on if you think you know what happened. I don't know. That's a really scary story. I'm glad nobody got hurt. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it pushing. So drivers across Denver are also feeling the impact of global events at the gas pump. Gas prices in the metro area have risen by about 20 cents per gallon over the past week, with the average price now around $3.50 per gallon. Energy analysts say the increase is linked to growing tensions in the Middle East, which are affecting global oil markets. Local rideshare drivers say the price jump is already hurting their income, with some reporting that their take-home pay has dropped between 15 and 20% due to higher fuel costs. So if you are, and one of my close friends is actually a DoorDash driver. He drives full time, and we were kind of talking about this. It has a very real impact on everything, folks. You know, from the food that's getting delivered to your King Soopers to your door. You know, from your Amazon packages, everything. So keep an eye on this story. If you can do anything to take public transport, I know it takes a little bit longer to take the bus, but do what you can. It'll save you some money, right? So I guess let me wrap this up with this major story, right? Colorado State Patrol is asking for the public's help in an investigation into a fatal crash on Interstate 25 near Longmont. Troopers say the incident resulted in a death, and they are now searching for any witnesses who may have been driving in the area at the time. Investigators are especially interested in any dash camera footage that could help them piece together exactly what happened before the crash. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact Colorado State Patrol and assist with the investigation. Do what you can, folks. And I know that there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Stigma around contacting the police, right? But in a situation like this where somebody passed away, I would say everybody's family deserves answers to know what happened, and if you can help the police in any way, just do what you can, folks, right? But that's actually it today for our stories. So this has been KUHS Local News. I guess let me tell you your key takeaways for the day. So monitor fire risks today, okay? It is very dry. I know we just had snow, but it was followed by a few dry days. So just keep an eye out, clean out any kind of branches, anything that could start a fire, right? Just keep an eye on your property. Safety first, folks. And join us Friday, because we are going to keep doing our thing. And so let's just keep it pushing, friends, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in to KUHS Colorado. We will see you Friday.